So I thought I would do a vlog today. Well, I'm not gonna vlog the whole thing, I'm gonna vlog like a little bit, just so you could see what life currently looks like for me as a student and in a full-time job. I work as a civil servant, but I particularly work in child protection, specifically on tackling child sexual abuse. So from my day, which is working and reading research and like putting so much brain energy into that, to currently what I'm doing. This is me with course materials, homework, courseworks, notes, trying to get my head around my lectures. And you know what? I really do enjoy it. I do enjoy actually writing. But I think sometimes the hardest thing is finding the balance between like work life, study life. I feel like whether it's my job or whether it's counselling, they can be very emotionally demanding things. So I think maybe the biggest challenge is finding the balance for myself still. And I think by God's grace, I'm getting there. I'm learning to be a lot more, what's the word I'm looking for? Intentional with self-care. And that definitely helps. So yeah. Life of a student, balancing study, balancing work, cooking in the background as well, balancing all the different transitions of my life. Pray me grace. Yeah. Come back from another class today, which was really, really good. So today I study 2 Saturdays every month. Sometimes it's online, sometimes we're going in physically, and today is one of those days I went in physically. And I absolutely love going in to see my class, see my tutors. It's just a different vibe when you can actually have like a back and forth conversation with someone where you can really like get the nitty gritty of certain topics, which might not be so black and white. So I love going in. Zoom is great, it's purposeful because some of our classes are on Zoom. It's purposeful, it's nice being able to roll out of bed and just like turn on your laptop. But I just find you can get so much more from face-to-face classes. So today, how my days are normally structured is that we have like a morning lecture session and then we have practical skills in the afternoon. So today our session was all about ethics, and that might sound really dry, but counselling ethics are phenomenal. Like it's so interesting. Like it's like we're discussing things like boundaries with clients. Do you accept gifts from your clients? How to make sure there's boundaries so there's no transference. Like, it was so interesting, and it just like opened us up to like some really engaging, really in-depth conversation about the counselling role is such a unique role because you're neither friend nor family, but the client shares such intimate personal details with you. By virtue, intimacy will be built. How do you manage that? How do you put boundaries in place where you're doing no harm to the client? So interesting, really, really good. And we just scratched the surface in the certificate level. When you go into the diploma level, which is what I plan to do by God's grace next year, that's when you get into the minutiae of the detail. But it was really good. It was a really good introduction. So we did ethics, and then we had a lunch break, and then we did counselling skills. So how we do our counselling skills is that there's a group of 4 of us, and we literally just rotate as we role play. So there will be 1 client, 1 counsellor, and 2 observers, and then we'll just rotate. The 2 observers are taking notes on the counsellor, and we have certain skills that we need to get signed off. So it could be about beginning the session well, showing empathy, being able to paraphrase and make sure that you are showing deep understanding of what the client is sharing with you. So we did that for an hour. Really, really, really good, because that's where you're putting all your theoretical knowledge into practice. You're learning all this stuff in the morning, and it's all right, cool. How does that come out when you have a real living individual in front of you? And yeah, just overall great day, great class as always. I will let you know about the next time I check in, whether that's a coursework or another class. So as you can see, I have my coursework here, but I also have my work laptop and just work in the background. And yeah, it's not the best. I'm gonna have to pause this at a point and go back to work and just balance the 2 as I move forward. But hey ho, there is grace. Morning all. Happy New Year as well. I think this is the first time I'm filming since 2022 started. I'm actually not going to class, I'm going to work, but I wanted to check in and just speak about how I'm finding class right now. We're in the last bit, so my course is up until March, and I've loved it. I definitely know I want to continue on to do the diploma. You need to do the certificate and the diploma to be able to practice as a therapist, so I know I want to go do the diploma, and it's just been great. Like, I think the things that I haven't liked are just things like, I don't know if you'll be able to hear me, are things like having my Saturdays taken up. Now, it's not every Saturday, but it's enough Saturdays for me to notice. So that's been a bit, but I'm getting used to it, to be fair. We're just coming out of Christmas break, so I'm looking forward to all the things we're gonna learn. Because of COVID, some of our lessons have moved online, and I think one thing I really, really enjoyed was actually going in to see my classmates and learning like, you know, properly.
Changed. We're going to talk about something called countertransference a bit later. And in the beginning, when this idea was evolving, Freud didn't believe in it. He later came to understand how powerful countertransference is through an experience of working with a client himself. So I think this is something really relevant to most therapeutic work.
So I thought I would quickly check in. I'm currently in class today, and it was really good. We learnt about Freud. So I am on a super quick break from class. We have our lunch break, and today's been super interesting. We learnt about Sigmund Freud, we learned about psychoanalytical and psychodynamic therapeutic models. We also learned about Carl Rogers and person-centered theory. I think sometimes people hear about Sigmund Freud, especially from a Christian perspective, and just like internally shudder, especially if you're quite familiar with some of his theories, especially around psychosexual development. I mean, a lot of Christians just kind of like just push it away. He was an atheist and he was quite anti-God in terms of his approach to psychology, but some of his theories, there is quite good elements to kind of like take and apply to your therapeutic process. The course I'm on is an integrative approach, so we don't just subscribe to just one psychodynamic model. We use tons, so we learn a bit of CBT, a bit of solution-based, a bit of psychodynamic and psychoanalytical. We do a bit of person-centered, and it's all about, for us as Christian integrative therapists, really understanding the pros and cons of each model, when to use it, when to integrate it into your practice. And it's stunning, because every time I have a class, I'm sitting in my class just like, I'm ready for the next phase. What masters am I going to do next? What am I super interested in? And what I really enjoyed about the lady taking the class today, she's a therapist, but she's also a dance therapist. So she was a ballet dancer, and she integrates dance into therapy. And I'm really interested into creative therapy, whether that's dance, movement, poetry, creative writing, painting, sculpturing. I think it's so excellent to integrate that into therapies. So yeah, that just really sparked interest. That's my lunch going off. But yeah, just wanted to check in, and I'll speak to you soon.